Presented by Iowa Farm Bureau on the Girls Union Network, powered by Mid-American Energy. Washington strands a base runner. As we go to the bottom of the first here in Class 3A, it's time for Williamsburg. And here's the defensive lineup that they will face. It's Messer, Greiner, and Cuddleback in left, center, and right. Hartman at third, Salazar at short, Miller at second, and Colby Greiner is at first. Your catcher is Olivia Anderson, and your pitcher is Bella Salazar. 15-3 on the season, Addie Wells. What do you see so far from her in her warm-ups?
I mean, it's going to be different once she faces batters, but you can tell she's throwing hard. If you make contact with it, it's going to go far, but it's just a matter of seeing the spin there, picking a spot in the zone to attack, because she can also kind of work anywhere in there.
And the throw down to second will bring in McKenna Hughes, followed by Carly Rich, Allie Gorsch, Taylor Pitlick. And it's Sanchez, Metz, Spratt, Allen, and Hooker to come up for Williamsburg, who wear those black pants and the red tops with white and red numbers and black, white stripes on each of the sleeves. Hughes playing third. She's a senior, and she waits for her first pitch from Salazar, and it's a foul ball.
Like I said, Salazar can throw the ball hard, so I love how she's coming inside and trying to jam these Raiders hitters right away.
And comes in again on her. When you know a place is your weakest or your weak spot, how do you lay off and not go into the trap that they're setting?
Well, you got to just focus on your strengths as hitters. You got to hunt that pitch. And then when you have two strikes on you, obviously that's a different approach. You got to open up. Sometimes that does mean adjusting your swing so that you're able to get through a wider variety of pitches, but it's really just honing in on your strengths there and hunting that pitch.
The 1-2 is fouled off to the on-deck circle where Carly Rich waits. And we'll do it again. Overcast skies, but the sun is flirted with coming out, and once it does, we will feel it here today. But the pitch is hit in the air behind first, but coming over is Reagan Miller from her second base position to catch it right at the line for the first out of the first inning.
That's a hard pitch to hit. Salazar going up in the zone with probably a rise, but Hughes just couldn't get enough of the barrel on it to square it up to see some green there.
And there's Hughes giving some words to Rich about what she just saw on that pitch. And now Hughes is telling Gorsch what she saw before she retreats to the dugout. But the pitch is in on again inside on a Raider, and Rich fouls it away. Salazar's pitch is up and in on Rich. She backs away.
Hughes' report to Rich must have been effective then, since Rich went right at that inside pitch early in the count. So we'll see if she's hunting that now.
Right on cue, goes inside just a little too much. And it's ball two. There's a look at the Washington defense, kind of even with the bags at the corners on Rich, and she hits it in the air towards center. Playable for Greiner. Ella goes 2 steps to her back and right to make the grab, and there's 2 away in the Williamsburg first.
Yeah, and that was a great adjustment by Rich there, and Salazar went inside again, as you could see, and Rich was ready for it, just again hit it right to the center fielder.
And Rich gives a couple more words to Gorsch. And Allie will bat with 2 away here in the Williamsburg half of the first. The pitch from Salazar inside, but this one also bounced before it reached the plate. Anderson blocks it, throws it back. Now you're, again, even on the corners, middle infield back a little bit more. on Gorsh with 2 outs. Chopped foul. Williamsburg not known necessarily for putting the bunt down, much more of a power hit, crush it team.
I think right now they're doing a good job of making contact. It's just a matter of tweaking it so that it sees some gaps here. But again, like if it comes down to the later innings and you need runs, small ball is always a way to go.
The 1-1 is up high.
Gorsh has the most hits for this Raiders offense with 53 on the season, so we'll see if she can get something started for him.
Low, hit past third and into left field. And that's a 2-out base hit for Allie Gorsh. Gorsh got it past Hartman right inside that line. And now let's see what the Raiders can do with 2 outs and Taylor Pitlick. Pitlick watches the first pitch for a strike. Pitlick looks down at Coach Adam C. Birdie down there in the third baseline in his 8th year as the head coach at Williamsburg softball. Chopper in the infield, coming over to make the play as Hartman throw across the diamond to Greiner to get the out. So both teams leave a runner on base. They both get a hit. Neither scored. You're watching the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Tournament presented by the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, built by and powered by Mid-American Energy.
Different people have different needs, so Delta Dental of Iowa has affordable dental and vision coverage that meets you where you are. Small business on a budget? We have options with no employer costs. Traditional Medicare plans don't cover dental, but we do. And if you can't get benefits at work, you can buy direct from us. Plus, we give back to local communities, so you help make an impact. Choose Delta Dental for your smile, for your health, for your community.
Salazar, Cutaback, and Messer do up for Washington, and they will face, again, Jersey Mets in the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Quarterfinal, Class 3A. They'll play in the semifinals tomorrow, the winner of this contest. And they will play the winner who is on the other diamond, which is getting close to starting. We're not there yet. On the other diamond in Class 3A, it's Esterville, Lincoln Central, and Albia. Last night, Dubuque Wahlert sent center point Urbana home, and Prairie City Monroe with a wild 6th and 7 inning contest. 6th and 7 inning, the 6th and 7. Pretty exciting last night in that 3A game.
Lots of intense softball here in the first day, hoping to see the same in the second.
Jersey Mets' first pitch to her counterpart in the circle, Bella Salazar, is a strike. The pitch from Metz is chopped but foul. Hughes just takes the practice, the opportunity there to get an extra look at a ball going into the glove.
Jersey already utilizing both sides of the plate, coming inside the first strike and then outside and low that second strike.
The 0-2 is fouled back into the net.
And then up in the zone, she can do it all, and she proves it every at bat.
Salazar, you can see her feet a little offset as the pitch approaches. She steps into the bat, pops it up on the infield towards second, and it's gloved by Sanchez for out number 1.
Yeah, that wind was kind of blowing out of both fields yesterday, but today it's blowing in, so the defense definitely has to take note of that, whether you're in the infield or outfield, and know that anything in the air will die pretty quickly.
Kind of hear the wind in our microphones here a little bit, so that wind does continue to blow. And it's swung on a miss by Hallie Cuddleback. On deck is Messer. The pitch. Swung through again. And now Metz is ahead, 0-2. Metz winds and fires. High and outside. Both teams with a hit, but no runs to show for it. No score here in the top of the second. Strike 3 on a swing and miss. Second strikeout of the game for Metz, and there's 2 away here in the second. Messer, a freshman, digs in, hits the first off speed, and it is fielded in foul territory by Hughes, but very, very close to the play, or to the line.
Yeah, great quick call by the umpire there to make it clear to the defense. As a player, you definitely appreciate the clarity. Sometimes you just don't know.
The 0-1's hit smacked up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit. Messer got all of it for a nice hard hit single. Hooker gets it back in, and it's another 2-out hit in this game. So Messer will be at first. That'll leave in or bring in Natalie Hartman. The pitch from Metz. Inside, that's where she's gone on many, many batters here. This is the 7th demon she's faced, being Hartman. And I'm going to say 5 of those 7 have been inside pitches, almost the exact same spot. Metz is 1-0. Is hit towards Hughes. Gloved across the field to Pitlick. Demons leave another runner. That's 2 for the game, but have 2 hits as well. We've played an inning and a half here in the Class 3A quarterfinal from Fort Dodge. Back in a moment on the Girls Digital Network.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Washington puts another runner on the board, or another runner on the bases, but can't get a run on the board as Hartman's retired. And pretty even so far here, Addie. What do you see now with Williamsburg as they bring their middle of the lineup?
Well, I definitely think the top of the lineup did a good job of adjusting to what they were seeing. They saw that Salazar goes to that inside pitch right away, so hopefully they're continuing to make that adjustment right away and hunting that inside pitch, and maybe they'll be able to string some hits together and eventually some runs.
Taylor Sanchez, Jersey Metz, and Callan Spratt due up for Williamsburg in this second inning. The pitch from Bella Salazar is high for ball number 1. And that pitch is a strike. Salazar 15-3 on the season. Her ERA is 2.66. She struck out 95 over 102 pitches or 102 innings. She's here in the second. Her team even up with the two-time defending champion Williamsburg Raiders. The pitch coming is popped foul and out of play to our right.
Sanchez with 6 home runs on the season, tied for most on her team, but also 23 walks. Just proves how confident she is in that at the plate, and can be really picky and hit her pitch.
Hard hit to Hartman, goes off her glove, fielded in fair territory, rolls foul right behind Coach Birdie. Either way, Sanchez finds her way to get on, and they're going to give that a hit. Hard hit ball, and Williamsburg, a little different than before, they get their leadoff batter on here in the second.
It's definitely a tough play for Hartman to make over there at third, but I also know that she's probably kicking herself a little bit, wishing she made that play for her pitcher.
Hard to get the double play in softball, but one of those would be nice if you're Washington right now. A little ground ball up the middle.
Yeah, there's lots of different ways it could happen. You never really know, but
that pitch is fouled off, but it stays right with the catcher, Anderson. And it's a ball and a strike, and Anderson's going to get a chance to collect herself as it kind of went off of her glove, or at least she's shaking her right foot. Nice job there by home plate umpire Daryl Erickson to offer up a little bit of time to collect yourself. Always appreciate that.
Mm-hmm.
The 1-1 from Salazar. Bunt showed, gets it down, but it's foul. We talked about the small ball aspect of this offense, and right there, first bunt attempt by Williamsburg in this game.
I have no issue with that either. I think there's a lot of benefits to small ball and even just getting runners in scoring position, because then you know the rest of your lineup is also pretty powerful. So if you can just get a runner in scoring position, you could really do some damage.
The 1-2 is hammered, but right at left fielder Mackenzie Messer. Man alive, Mets put the hard hit charge into that one.
She really barreled that up. I'm really impressed with how she got around that inside pitch, but as you can see, like, the Raiders are definitely adjusting to Salazar, so hopefully Salazar can keep producing those outs that go right to her defenders, or she'll be able to switch it up enough to keep them off balance.
Callan Spratt to bat. First pitch comes inside, gets away from the catcher Anderson, throw down to second, not in time. And Sanchez now in scoring position with one out.
Good effort from Anderson back there, putting her body on the line for the pitcher and still trying to make that play. That's just a tough play when the ball's kind of rolling away from you and you have to go get it before you can throw it.
Spratt, a .382 hitter. Watches that one go by for a called strike. On deck, Kylie Allen. Sanchez, the runner at second. The pitch from Salazar is hit towards third, and Hartman keeps it in front of her, and nothing more can happen as it rolls away to her left. And now the Raiders have two on, as the error is going to be charged to Hartman on that ground ball.
Another tough play. We've seen the Dirt produce a few crazy hops this first day, so it's tough to adjust to as defenders, but just seemed like she was a little more focused on the move to get her body towards first base before she was actually able to secure that ball.
Kylie Allen, first pitch ball, now up in the count 1-0. The pitch from Salazar is hit hard to the right. One of the things I was thinking about is, yeah, you know, you talk about the Dirt, but let's face it, you don't face a team that hits the ball much harder than Williamsburg. I mean, you have to put that into this context as well. Not something you see on a regular basis, right?
Definitely not.
The 1-1 is an off-speed pitch. Hartman goes under her glove. The recovery is in time by a heads-up Leighton Salazar. Leighton, a heads-up play to get the out on a fielder's choice.
That was a great job by Salazar over there at short. You know, she was moving that way to back up that the ball that was heading toward Hartman, and she was able to recognize that she's just got to take that to third. That's her only play, and she dove and was able to beat it out.
So Sanchez is erased in the fielder's choice. Still 2 on, but now 2 out for Williamsburg. The pitch from Salazar. Hit in the air, high to center, drifting back, going back, looking up. It's off the wall. 1 run scores. Here comes another, and it's going to be a stand-up triple for Ava Hooker.
Another great piece of hitting from this Raiders offense. She really barreled that one up, and with 2 outs, all the runners were moving, so that was picture perfect right there.
Spratt scores, Allen scores, and Hooker sits at third. 2-0 Williamsburg. Hooker, no stranger to the state tournament as a sophomore. She's someone you've heard us talk about a lot. Hartman gloves it, throws across the diamond. Not before the damage is done. Williamsburg plates 2 in their half of the second. They take a 2-0 lead as we go to the 3rd inning. This is the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Hello, I'm Brent Johnson, an Iowa farmer from Calhoun County and president of the Iowa Farm Bureau. As proud title sponsor of the state softball tournament, the Iowa Farm Bureau is dedicated to creating a vibrant future for Iowa through partnerships and programs that help cultivate individuals with great character, a strong work ethic, and exceptional leadership skills. Making it to the state tournament is a great accomplishment that takes a lot of support. That's why we provide millions of dollars in awards, grants, and scholarships that recognize athletic and academic excellence. The well-being of Iowa students is also very important to Farm Bureau. That's why we provide concussion insurance coverage at no cost for all students in grades 9 through 12 who participate in a sanctioned sport. As just one of only 7 states to provide this coverage, it's just another way we're striving to support Iowa's outstanding young leaders. So, from the Iowa Farm Bureau, congratulations to all the players and coaches on an outstanding season, and good luck in the tournament.
Well, you had an extra base hit, which is brought to you by Channel Seeds. And we've had a couple of doubles, a couple of singles, an error. Had some opportunities now for Williamsburg to get a couple of runs on the board. And when you've won the game, when you've won the state title 2 years in a row, Addie, does that give you swagger, or did Williamsburg had it when they walked into the diamond today?
Well, I know they came in these past 2 years and won that state title, but this year they're not that number 1 seed. That goes to Wahlert this year, so I'm sure they've got a chip on their shoulder. They've got something to prove, but I'm sure they're coming in just ready to attack and pound on their opponents and just show us who the Raiders are and that they're capable of winning another state title this year.
Well, Jersey Metz is up 0-2 on Reagan Miller, the freshman second base player. The pitch is swung on and missed. Strikeout number 3 for Metz, and there's 1 away here in the 3rd. So now if you're Washington, so conversely, if you're Washington and you're new to the state tournament with most of your players, how do you mentally go, all right, we're down 2-0. It's only the 3rd though, right?
Right, well, they should definitely give credit to themselves. I mean, they got themselves to the state tournament. Like you said earlier, they knocked out Assumption, who has been here for 9 straight state tournament trips. So you're definitely capable of competing and beating these high-power teams. So, again, you're just honing in on your strengths. You can't really give too much focus to the other team or to your weaknesses. You're trying to play your best softball and capitalize on what you do best.
Leighton Salazar grounded out to start the game back in the 1st. She bats here in the 3rd, down 2-0. 1-1 is the count. She's that table setter that everybody likes to have at the top of their lineup. Swings through that one. And Mets now ahead 1-2.
Jersey's been utilizing the lower part of the zone to Salazar. A little bit different, but she could always go right back up to the other side.
The 1-2 is fouled off into the net. Layton made a great play to probably save another run back in the second inning when she fielded it very close to third, dove for the bag, helped out her sister Bella, the pitcher. Third on this team in batting average, first in hits, second in runs, second in singles. She's their go-to, and she watches that one just miss.
That was a great hold by Salazar. It's tough to make that call, especially with the off speeds that can sometimes drop into the zone, but that was a great eye.
Salazar, the junior, the pitch to her is outside, and now she works the count full. So when you see these orange and white and black uniforms, do you little flashback? Do you go, oh, those are good? Yeah, those could be good Wartburg uniforms.
I do love the orange. I love how bright and vibrant it is, but yeah, we've got a lot of red teams though, so yes. I think I like the variety. I like the different colors.
The 3-2 coming to Salazar is fouled back into the net. But the red and black, you were not really red and black. You were more maroon and black?
Yes, I was more
Is that
maroon.
what the West Waha color is maroon?
Yes. They have adapted more of the old rose, which is really just a fancy word for pink. So that's mostly what you'll see Waterloo West in these days. But yeah, in my days, it was mostly maroon and black.
There you go. The 3-2 is swung on and missed, and Leighton Salazar is the second strikeout victim of the inning. Fourth K of the game for Jersey Mets, 2 away here in the third.
Yeah, that's a huge out for Jersey here. If Layton can get on base, she's got 53 stolen bases on the season, so she can cause chaos out there. So keeping her off the bases is huge for the Raiders.
Well, here comes Ella Greiner with her good pop in her bat, trying to get her team to move the line along. She had a double back in the first, but was stranded at second. Bats here in the third. Williamsburg 2, Washington 0. Off speed is punched into center. One hop fielded by Hooker, and 2 for 2 is Ella Greiner in her state tournament trip.
Another great piece of hitting. I'm loving how these hitters are getting their barrels through and keeping their hands through and really squaring up all of these balls and being able to keep these hard hit balls fair.
So Colby Greiner, the power hitter. As Coach Oberman told us this week, he says, Colby never gets cheated at the plate. She makes the most of that opportunity, hits it high, and gone! Home run for Washington, and we're tied at 2.
See, this Demon offense is really taking those adjustments and hitting these pitches up the middle and to the left side of the field. That ball sailing over the left center fence. Jersey Mets is probably frustrated that they're able to barrel up these balls now, but the Demons are definitely going to try to keep things rolling now.
Well, I don't think there was any cheating there. That was a rocket to left. Tied at 2 here in the third. The pitch from Metz is inside to Olivia Anderson. Anderson struck out back in the first, chops it foul down the third base line. Anderson, like all good catchers, the glue and vocal leader of this team.
Definitely needs to be a strong presence behind the plate and can be a strong presence in the box as well.
Mets is 1-1. Off speed. Keeps it near the plate. I'm impressed with the plate discipline by both of these teams on that changeup that both of these pitchers throw.
Absolutely. It's tough to go against his hitters, and it's tough as pitchers when the hitters aren't swinging at him either.
The 2-1. Inside. As we had our 10:30 flyby from the Fort Dodge Airport, which is just west of this diamond across the road.
Have you ever flown out of there?
No, I haven't.
Me neither.
I've not flown in or out, just driven by. And that pitch misses, and now Mets trying to not let this one slip away.
This is the second full count that the Demons have gotten in against Mets here. Last time it resulted in a strikeout, but...
The 3-2 down the middle, hit high in the air to right, but playable and caught by Callan Spratt. Not before the Demons get a pair on a home run by Colby Greiner. We're tied at 2 here in Fort Dodge.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
On the Channel Seats extra base hit, that's a home run by Colby Greiner. And that ties our game at 2 as we're here in the bottom of the 3rd. Paul Yeager and Eddie Wells just doing our Wartburg best today. I made it. I think I might lose the bet because, I think everybody thought we'd just talk about Wartburg the whole time. I've only done 2 references.
I know. It's not that many, but, if you're from Wartburg, you know how much everyone loves Wartburg. I went to Wartburg, so it's hard not to.
And everybody knows that that's where you came from. So I saw one of your coaches here, and I see some of the other, you have a future teammate, future schoolmate up to lead things off. Carly Rich is going to play basketball at Wartburg. But talk about, you played at 5A. And now you're playing in Division III. Tell me about there's some players who will say, Division III. There's nothing about that level, is there?
Absolutely not. There's definitely very competitive teams, very competitive players. Wartburg, we've made it to the NCAA tournament 4 years in a row, so we're in the top competition. We're facing top competition all year. We've had some of the hardest schedules in all of D3. So, again, don't hate on D3. It's still competitive. I would say that 5A Iowa High School softball did very well prepare me for college softball. So, again, all of these players, you've got to give credit to them. They're outstanding athletes, outstanding programs. But, yeah, college ball at any level is always fun and competitive.
Rich grounds out Salazar to Greiner for the first out here of the 3rd. And you see players go on to play at the next level from 1A through 5A here in Iowa, and it's always talked about. In JUCO, they'll end up, many, many places. The level of softball gets talked about. It is the only state that plays in the summer, so there's always that tough challenge that some girls face of, well, a coach told me I won't get noticed if I only play club ball in the summer, but that one's hit up the middle, and that's going to be a base hit for Allie Gorsh. She jumps on the first pitch for a base hit, and Gorsh really hit a good one on that one.
Yeah, the schedule differences are tough, and it's definitely adjustment when you get to the next level as well, but it's definitely possible. As long as you're putting in the work and you love the game, you put your heart into the game, there's definitely ways for you to get noticed. And I loved playing in the summer because then you don't have school to worry about at the same time. It's just softball 100% of the time.
2-2, or the pitch is grounded to second. Miller over to Greiner, moves up the runner as Pitlick gets the job done to move up Gorsh.
Then they got it first, the toss by Miller.
So that'll bring in Taylor Sanchez. Just great all-around player, according to coach. And Great state tournament last year, 100 hits this season. She's tied for Class 3A state qualifiers in triples with 6. Triple here would give her team the lead. They're tied now 2-2.
She had a base hit in her last at bat as well, and even that could send this runner in scoring position home as well.
That one hits her up on the hands, and that's going to be a hit by pitch. Sanchez aboard now with 2 on and 2 out. So Gorsh will stay at second. Sanchez joins her on the bases, now at first. So the junior pitcher Metz with a chance here, as her hitting is improved. This year batting .368. Watches that first pitch go out of the zone. Ball number 1.
Sanchez has started working that outer half a little bit more after the Raiders started barreling up those inside pitches. So it's kind of been using that high outside pitch.
The 1-0 has bounced into Metz. Salazar trying to work out now the issue of 2 on and 2 out. Just needs a ground ball to get out of the inning here. Raiders looking to get that lead back. That pitch is hit up the middle, and it is right at Ella Greiner, who takes a half a step in, makes the grab, and retires the Raiders here in the third, who leave 2 on. So that's 4 for the game. They pick up their 4th hit. We go to the 4th, tied at 2. This is the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Excelling in athletics takes teamwork, dedication, and a commitment to excellence. These are the same qualities that help our pig farmers and our communities thrive. The Iowa Pork Producers Association is proud to support statewide high school athletics and the student athletes who make us all proud. Visit iowapork.org/WeCare to meet the people behind the pork and hear about our winning approach to caring for our pigs, the environment, and our communities.
SWIC is a community. Southwestern Community College is a place in rural southwest Iowa where students from across the world come to be a part of a tight-knit family, Spartan Nation, where they study, train, grow, thrive, and are called by name, not by number. At SWIC, we are one.
Middle part of the game as we move to the 4th. Washington and Williamsburg tied here in the Class 3A quarterfinal of the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union State Softball Tournament here from Harlan and Hazel Rogers. I put them together sometimes. It's not the way it's supposed to be. We're up to 84 degrees as we approach 10:45 on this Tuesday morning. The wind is still kind of stayed from on this diamond at least. It's straight out, home to center. We've seen a couple of big flies, but I don't think any wind was going to knock them down or aid them. They were already well hit. Washington up now with Bella Salazar, Hallie Cutterback, and Mackenzie Messer due up for the Demons. Coach Ben Oberman down at first base gives the sign there. You see him on the top right of your screen. He's from Cresco, Iowa, played at Crestwood High School, and that changeup is fouled away. He played baseball at a certain school in Decorah. You have to be professional about these things, Addie. He went to Luther College.
You know, they're actually leaving the American Rivers Conference, though, so, I mean, I can't really hold that against them too much.
But Coach also ran at the state track meet as an athlete himself back in 2008 and 2009 as that pitch from Metz is outside of the zone. Also played in the state football playoffs in 2008. Was the head baseball coach for 2 years at Southwind. Took them to the 2014 state tournament. He's the dean of students at Washington. He's trying to be the dean of the diamond here with this team, and that's hard hit, but right at Hughes. Scooped up by Pitlick, and it's one away. Salazar retired on the ground out.
This part of the lineup was due up in the second inning, and they could only get one runner on and left her stranded, so they'll see if they can change that this inning.
That'll bring up right fielder Hallie Cutterback.
Cutaback playing right field. Struck out in her first at-bat, back in the second. Hallie can sometimes come in and pitch if needed. They've brought her to be that left-handed specialist. That one's hit to left. Diving away from Gorsh. She has to take about 4 steps to her right to make the grab. And that's 2 outs. Last night, I want to bring back that Prairie City Monroe West Liberty game. PCM brought in 3 pitchers in 1 inning and to try to put out the bleeding, and it worked to give them the chance as Messer hits it high in the air to center. Hooker goes over to make the grab, and it's a pretty easy inning for Jersey Mets. We go to the bottom of the 4th, tied at 2.
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Spratt, Allen, and Hooker due up for Williamsburg. They've provided some excitement. Hooker had a triple, a 2 RBI triple back in the second to give Williamsburg their only 2 runs. Washington scored their 2 runs on a home run. We're here in the 4th as Bella Salazar goes back to work. Coach calls her a bulldog in the circle. Let's see if she can bear down here. Some pitches have had bite. Let's see what she looks in, gets the sign from the dugout, checks the wrist, winds and fires. First pitch strike. Got to say hello to one of your broadcast partners, Landon Jepson, Williamsburg grad, who always want to make sure I'm up to date on all Raiders, all things Raiders.
And Knights always.
And Knights, yep. He has been telling me about Williamsburg sports, and specifically this group of girls and the ones that are more his generation for years. And he's right. I mean, they've been regulars at state basketball and softball. That one's hit in the air by Spratt. Towards center, going over to her left is Griner to make the grab.
They're definitely always producing great athletes and great teammates as well.
That'll bring up designated player Kylie Allen.
The DP, Kylie Allen, to bat. Coach Birdie, as we said, 9th year. Kind of in his home area there. Grew up in Livermore, Iowa. At the old Twin Rivers, or now is the Twin Rivers. It was there at Livermore. Here's a new thing I did not know about him. He was co-valedictorian of his high school graduating class.
Interesting. Good for him.
Hit in the air, Allen. Back again is Griner, makes the catch. Coach Birdie, a math teacher, and that guy loves his analytics and his stats.
You can definitely see how that would benefit his coaching as well.
So Salazar able to get the first 2 Raiders to pop out here in the 4th. Goes to work on Ava Hooker. Hooker's triple was to center, hit that Catch Des Moines sign out there in left center. Looking for a 2-out hit here in the 4th. The 2-2, or the 0-1 with a 2-2 game is foul.
This Raiders offense has been able to hit the ball hard and put it deep in play. It just hasn't been able to find a gap except for that 2 RBI triple that Hooker had back in the second.
Salazar's 0-2 is off the plate on the off speed. The pitch. Change up, hit again to center. That one's over the head of Griner. And again, an extra base hit for Ava Hooker. A Channel Seeds extra base hit. Hooker 2 for 2, a triple and a double. That's a pretty good day at the plate.
Top of the order now for the Raiders, third baseman McKenna Hughes.
She's only been slugging about 568 on the season, but that number's definitely going to go up after this game.
Top of the order now, McKenna Hughes. First pitch strike to Hughes.
Hughes leads this offense in hits, so we'll see if a base hit could maybe push another run across.
That one's hit hard to left center. It's going to short hop the fence. It's going to score a run. And Hughes on an RBI double as she trades places with Hooker. Williamsburg takes the lead back 3-2.
Another great piece of hitting, and you see it again, that left center gap, that inside pitch. The Raiders have just been able to adjust very quickly to that against Salazar and really crush it and cause some damage.
Salazar was able to get the first two batters, but now she has given up back-to-back doubles, Hooker and Hughes, and that makes way for Carly Rich. Off-speed hit towards third. Hartman loses it, throws it to the plate. They're going to have an old-fashioned pickle. The throw home. Missed the tag initially, got her on the second wave through. Out at the plate is Hughes. And the Demons escape before any more damage is done. The fielder's choice. And that is the third out of the fourth inning. We go to the fifth. 3-2, Williamsburg takes the lead.
This is you. And you are why we do what we do. Each and every one of you are wonderful, amazing people. So we'll treat you that way on your journey of trusted care. Because the way you, and you feel matters. Unity Point Health. Know how much you matter to this world.
The Iowa Farm Bureau knows how strong schools build strong communities. That's why they proudly support the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Unit and this inspiring Girls State Softball Championship. By supporting Iowa's youth, they're helping build Iowa's future. We go to the fifth. Williamsburg leads 3-2. They score on back-to-back doubles in their half of the fourth. In the fifth, due up for Washington, it's Natalie Hartman, Reagan Miller, and the top of the order, Leighton Salazar. The 0-1 for Metz is a called strike. Hartman now down 0-2. Hartman swings and misses for out number one.
Great pitch from Metz there. She went outside and it was off the plate, but it looked good enough that Hartman knew she had to protect the zone, so she was able to get the swing and miss.
Strikeout number 5 for Natalie Hartman. And another freshman in the lineup, Reagan Miller. When you're starting 3 freshmen in your lineup and a sophomore, that is the building blocks of a team that's going to know the way to Fort Dodge every July.
the standards will be high and the performances will also be high. Yeah, that last strikeout, that 5th strikeout for Metz is a pretty big deal. Williamsburg usually only averages just over 3 strikeouts per game, so you can tell that Jersey is really cooking up in that circle today.
The pitch is out of the zone for a ball. Washington scored their 2 runs in the 3rd. Williamsburg 2 in the 2nd, 1 in the 4th. As we play here in the 5th, Raiders lead by a run, 3-2. Reagan Miller punches it. 1 hopped by Pitlick, who then steps on the bag for out number 2.
I feel like that's like one of the very few hits that we've seen to the right side of the field, but Pitlick did a great job of being ready for that, staying low on that and making the play for Metz there.
You are exactly right. There has only been 1 pop fly to second. Otherwise, everything's been to the left. Yeah. Running up on it is Salazar. She fouls it away. Her 3rd at bat for Layton. She sports the purple and pink batting gloves and the pink and cream bat. It's not the pencil bat that you've seen so much and more on the baseball side than softball, but you know it's out there, the 0-1. Hit in the air to left. Gorsh looks directly into the sun to make the grab, and that is how the Washington half of the inning ends. 1, 2, 3 go the Demons. We bring up the Raiders when we come back. This is the Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy.
Here in Greater Des Moines, we're the unexpected sports mecca that feels like home. We are the big ballers, the little kickers, the underdogs, and the bulldogs. We've got events wacky and wild, big and small, we host them all. That old sports cliche, nobody believes in us? Nah, when you come here, you'll believe. Because in Des Moines, only the S's are silent. Let's go!
At Mid-American Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. Mid-American Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Welcome back to the amped up Rogers Field. There's a look at your Williamsburg crowd, which is sitting to our left above the third base dugout. There's Adam Birdie. He's the guy in all black and the red hat. Don't tell him it's 85 degrees. Hard hit, first pitch. Gorsh smacks it in the left, and she's 1 pitch, and she's 1 runner on base. That's how we start the 5th. Gorsh, Pitlick, and Sanchez. Sorry, go ahead.
Gorsh now 3 for 3 with singles against Salazar here has definitely shown that she's adjusted quickly and she's seeing her well.
You had a scouting report on me. You knew when Paul takes a breath, that's when you talk. He doesn't take one very often. Bunt shown, gets down, great one, fielded, Hartman across to a covering Miller. Runner moves up to second base. Pitlick gets the job done on the sacrifice.
Again, we've said this multiple times. Williamsburg doesn't play small ball often, but when they do, it's going to be big. And again, they're up 1 right now, but they're looking for insurance runs, knowing what this Demons offense can do. So, I mean, we're in the bottom of the 5th inning. You might as well just fight to get some extra runs on the board.
Yeah, every run matters here. You can go up 2 in the 7th and still lose, as that pitch is low. Good dig out of the dirt by Anderson. You can score 2 in the 7th and lose at any game. I mean, there was a 12-11 game yesterday. There were a couple of 9-inning games. I mean, we had the gamut yesterday.
We've seen it all already, yep.
The pitch from Salazar is inside. Taylor Sanchez had a single in the second, hit by pitch in the third, bats here in the fifth. That one is smoked. Good hop play by Salazar. Layton throws across. Sanchez gets the job done, moves the runner now to third with 2 outs.
Yeah, the Raiders have done a great job of continuously hitting the ball hard, putting pressure on that Demons defense. Salazar hasn't recorded a strikeout yet this game, and the Raiders are proving to make that unheard of.
Hit in the air, high to left by Jersey Metch, but it's going to be played by Messer. And so the Raiders leave a runner on base here in the fifth. We go to the 6th inning. The 2-time defending champs have a 1-run lead.
We know that carrying your groceries out to your car seems a bit old school. That saying hello and asking about your day feels like a thing of the past. Being best at fresh, it's not just a fad. Serving high-quality meat at affordable prices? Talk about a throwback. But at Fairway, that's kind of our thing. Because some things never go out of style. Friendly at Fairway. It's more than just a name.
The Iowa Girls High School Athletic Union Digital Network, powered by Mid-American Energy here as we go to the 6th inning. Washington from southeast Iowa and Williamsburg from just a little further north of southeast Iowa. East central Iowa, if you want to call it. South of Iowa, or west of Iowa City. Washington a little further south of them. Representing here in Fort Dodge in this 3A quarterfinal, Addie Wells, Paul Yeager, glad to have you here on this Tuesday morning. As we move past 11 o'clock, we've moved up to 85 degrees, but the sun has stayed behind the clouds for now. Addie, you play third base.
Yes.
On those infield plays, like let's talk about the one that Salazar made right there. She kind of almost did how many times have you put the glove down going, I hope it comes, I know it should, but.
Listen, there are some balls that just come so quick, so fast that you just got to react and pray that one doesn't hit you in the face and that your glove gets there earlier. But yeah, that just your reaction is quick enough, and there are tough plays, but that's kind of what I love about it. It's just reaction. Like, you don't have to think too much about it. You just trust your body and your skills and the foundation of your skills to do the work for you.
First pitch swing by Ella Greiner, and she is out as Carly Rich fields it and throws it to Pitlick. Greiner, Anderson due up for the Demons. Colby Greiner's last trip to the plate was an easy run around the bases because she was trotting, a home run trot. The pitch from Metz. Changeup. Haven't seen that since early on in the game where the changeup's been missed that badly.
It's definitely been smart to go back to that at this point in the game, knowing that Greiner just hit a home run off of you. You've got to change up speeds and get her off balance again.
And you saw Colby flash a big old smile on that one. And that pitch is low. This one is the changeup that's the one that bounces. Anderson on deck, Salazar if anybody gets aboard. One away here in the 6th. Ball comes high and inside to Colby Greiner.
A great pitch, trying to get it near the zone, but just off enough that it would produce a weak out for her defense. But Greiner does a good job of laying off that one.
The 2-1 from Metz is off the plate. Wind still hanging around. You can hear it in the microphone a little bit. The flag between the two diamonds has been kind of up the whole time. Flags in the outfield blowing out. The pitch. And that's ball 4. Greiner gets a walk.
Sure, the girls are appreciating the breeze, though, keeping them nice and cool on the field.
And that's for sure Metz's first walk of the game that she's allowed. And that's, I think, the first walk of either team. So Colby Greiner goes down to first. First pitch, nice one there to Olivia Anderson. Called strike. Metz's 0-1 is popped up on the infield. Calling for it after an initial panic is Hughes. Metz like, and Hughes bailed her out.
I think Metz's initial reaction was to go for it, and then she realized her third baseman would have a priority over that ball over her, and so there was a little bit of miscommunication, but then Hughes came and hustled there and was able to make the catch.
If you draw a big old circle around home plate, any pop fly, ground ball foul off of Bella Salazar, anything in that circle, we'll just say 20 feet, 30 feet of the plate, is an adventure. Whether it's a foul ball, whether it's a pop fly, a pop-up 10 feet from the plate, that thing has such different spin that you need as experienced of a glove as you can trying to field that.
Absolutely. It's sometimes it's no man's land, sometimes it's bouncing off of gloves into other players. It could really go anywhere.
Pitch high to Salazar. Colby Greiner down at first on the walk.
As long as you're able to communicate effectively with your teammates, though, then you should be able to make those plays or at least handle the ball enough so that you limit some damage.
The 1-1. Nice pitch right down the middle of the plate, just a tiny bit off to the side, but pretty much can't get much more down the middle than that. But just not the pitch that Salazar was looking for. Now she has to protect on the 1-2 pitch. Popped in the air on the infield. Now 3 feet into the grass goes Sanchez to grab it and to retire the Demons here in the 6th. Third out of the inning. They leave one on base. 3-2 Williamsburg, and they come up to bat here in the 6th.
At MidAmerican Energy, we're one company serving 1.6 million people who all need energy that's available 24/7. That's why we work 24/7. That's why we make investments in our systems that make us more resilient to extreme weather. That's why we generate power from all available resources to cover the variables in supply and demand. And that's why when the power is knocked out, we work around the clock to restore power to you. MidAmerican Energy, obsessively, relentlessly at your service.
Spratt, Allen, and Hooker due up for Williamsburg in their half of the 6th. The Raiders, the defending champs in Class 3A, have a 3-2 lead. Williamsburg usually been that 1, maybe that 2 seed when they've been coming over, and they play that first game on Monday night. So here they are playing in the bright sun of Tuesday morning. I think Coach Birdie would say, or any coach would say, as long as we're playing at State, it doesn't matter what time we play.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I think you said it, the beauty of Iowa High School girls athletic union softball is it's in the summer. You just get up and play. You don't have to get up and worry. Make sure you got your algebra homework done. First pitch is hit hard, and it's going to be caught on a diving play made in center field. Callan Spratt right behind that pole. Trust me, she made a great diving play. Allen will bat. The pitch from Salazar is low.
Yeah, that was a great catch out there in center. I thought that was going to drop for a second, but she went full speed at it and was able to extend her glove out there at the last minute and pull it off the ground.
Foul ball off of Allen while she was in the box. Williamsburg, their 6th consecutive state tournament, dating back to 2020. The pitch. Hit hard past third into left on a rope. Wow, that thing was moving. Kylie Allen with a hit.
Once again, we see that they're pounding those pitches to the left side of the field, the center left side. So the Raiders are definitely seeing Salazar well still.
Washington beat Assumption to get into the tournament, also Central Lee and Midland. The pitch coming from Salazar. Bunt, fielded, throw to first, outmade. Hooker is put out, Hartman to Miller.
Once again, you see the Raiders prioritizing just pushing at least one run across. Hooker had that triple and the double in her first 2 at-bats, but she's still able to be a team player and put that bunt down to put her fellow teammate Allen in scoring position.
And that might be one of those things. I mentioned how they're going to walk McKenna Hughes, probably a good decision. Hughes with a double in her last at-bat. So now both pitchers have issued a walk. So Allen at second, Hughes at first. And that'll bring in Carly Rich. First pitch to her is a strike. Rich hit into a very strange inning-ending fielder's choice back in the 4th. She's 0 for 3 on the day. The pitch. Hit in the air, high to center. Going over her head, Griner can't grab it. Rich is going to score 2 runs on her RBI double times 2. And the Raiders add a pair here in the 6th.
The Raiders definitely have some timely hits here with runners in scoring position. That's going to be huge for them going into the 7th inning to have that extra cushion.
Allen is run 4, Hughes is run 5, and Rich is at second with 2 outs. That is a Channel Seeds extra base hit, and that's a huge one for the Raiders. Hit in the air again, even higher and farther and deeper to left because it's a home run. Allie Gorsch, 2-run bomb.
That was an absolute no-doubter from Gorsch. She turned on that. She was able to barrel that up. The crowd knew right away. We knew right away. The Raiders knew right away.
We're going to see this one again. Oh, just got it all. Great work there by our crew. Aaron Brady, our director today, Marion Bailey on camera. And that is a look at a happy dugout for Williamsburg on the far side of the screen. Gorsch is 4 for 4 today. Had 3 singles, and there was no doubt that was a home run. Taylor Pitlick to bat now for Williamsburg as they lead 7-2. And the pitch to Pitlick is low and away. Due up for Washington in their half of the 7th. It's 7-8. It's 6-7-8. Cutaback, Messer, and Hartman. Chopper to second. High hop. Little bit of a bobble by Miller. She recovers in time to get the out. The mountain is a little harder to climb. Washington, 3 outs. They got to score 5 to play on. We'll see how it plays out here in the 7th.
The Iowa Farm Bureau is proud to present the state softball tournament and celebrate the accomplishments of Iowa's student athletes. To the Iowa Farm Bureau, this is more than just a sport. It's hometown pride, it's hopes and dreams, it's our future leaders. It's a reason to do more and be more. And it's that farm-strong spirit that can only be found in Iowa. Congratulations to the student athletes and coaches on an outstanding softball season. And remember, today's successes are just the beginning of tomorrow's achievements.
Throughout the complex.
Williamsburg, the bench, warming up in left field in case they're needed in this inning. They're 3 outs away, the Raiders are, from returning to the state semifinals. They've won the title in 23 and 24. They were runner-up in 20. Looking to play on here is Washington. There's been 1 hit by the batters due up, and that was Messer, but they lead off with Hallie Cutterback. She'll bat from the left side. She's struck out and flied out. Bats here in the 7th. 7-2 Williamsburg in this contest here on this Tuesday morning. Sun starts to make its way out. Williamsburg trying to nail this thing down. Metz's first pitch is a strike. All right, Addie, I'm guessing the easy thing to say is Washington just got to do it one at a time, right?
Yeah, that's really the trick, is passing the bat and trusting that if you get runners on, then your teammates behind you will be able to either move them around or push them across. Can't do too much.
Cutterback trying to get on any way possible. Swings through that one. She's down 0-2.
If you're Williamsburg too, it's also one at a time. You know, you've got more of a deficit now behind you, so you've got some room to work with. Even if you get runners on, you've just got to focus on getting outs.
The 0-2 is swung through, gets by the catcher, the throw down to first. The out is retired on the strikeout, 2-3.
Yeah, we've seen great work from Lily Ness behind the plate all day, framing pitches for Jersey Metz, getting some strikes called for her, putting her body on the line, keeping them in front of her. Great job staying composed and having her back in, getting that out for her.
6 strikeout for Metz, who winds and fires on the first offering to Messer. Messer a single back in the 2nd. Flied out to center in the 4th. 2-4-2 for Washington, 7-10-0 for Williamsburg. A little bit of movement there on that one to Messer, and it's a strike. The 1-1. Hit in the air towards center, going over, calling for it, and making the grab is Ava Hooker.
That was a great pitch from Metz, low and inside, and Messer did a good job doing what she could with that and barreling it up enough. It was deep. It probably did put Metz on the edge of her seat a little bit, but her center fielder, Hooker, out there was able to make the grab.
Demons down to their final out here. It's up to Natalie Hartman to keep things moving. First pitch, strike. The pitch swung through, and now Williamsburg is a strike away from advancing. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Williamsburg moves on to the state semifinals with a 7-2 win here at state. Sixth strikeout of the game came with 1 out, and now the 7th strikeout ends it for Williamsburg.
That was a
Go ahead.
Heck of a performance from the Raiders there. Allie Gorsh went 4 for 4, 3 singles, and then that 2 RBI home run to really seal it for the Raiders. Jersey Metz did an amazing job in the circle with the 7 Ks. Lots to be proud of for Williamsburg here.
Williamsburg will advance to 34-7. Washington will finish the season 29-10. But they finished it at the state tournament. And that is how this contest end. Addie, real quickly, if you had to put a bow on this one, how would you do it?
I mean, I'd say we saw great work from the pitchers. They limited hits for most of the game, so I'd give props to both Salazar and Metz today. But again, the offense for the Raiders just came out and put a show on at the state tournament. So,
time of game, 1 hour, 22 minutes, a brisk pace. Great way to start the game and the day. For our director, Aaron Brady, camera is Marion Bailey and Addie Wells. I'm Paul Yeager. Thank you so much for watching this Iowa Girls High School Athletic Unit State Tournament presentation by Iowa Farm Bureau on the digital network, which is powered by Mid-American Energy. So long. More softball to come here today from Fort Dodge. So long for now.